welcome to a new Harry's Garage video, and today's car is the Porsche 911 Dakar. Been really keen to get this car in the garage. As you know, I'm a big fan of the Paris Dakar race and what it all meant, and Porsche has proper history in the Paris Dakar event because in 1984 they won outright Paris Dakar event in the Porsche 953 as it was termed then. It was a four-wheel drive 911, we'll call it 911, and it was the year prior to the 959s taking part in the Paris Dakar event. And this car came out to celebrate that win, and also it's another limited edition Porsche to 2,500 units, this one. And I can remember when it came out, I thought I was slightly confused by it because it wasn't actually based on like a GT3. It didn't have that high revving engine. It's actually, its base is the Porsche GTS. So it has the twin turbo 3-litre engine with 480 horsepower. And you can't mention this car without mentioning the Lamborghini Huracan Starato we had in the garage a few weeks ago. But they are completely different price points. If I actually look at the price of this car, 173,000 base, a Lamborghini Starato 232,820, so a £60,000 premium for the Lamborghini, and the one we tested, well, that was 343,000 with all extras, so double the price of the 911 Dakar. So lots to look at with this car. Let's go and have a closer look. Now, first change with a Dakar version over a GTS, raised suspension. So the suspension is 50mm higher than a GTS, but it also has a button on the dash where you can lift the car. You have nose lift on regular 911s. Well, this has got same lift system on the front and the rear. So the whole car lifts a further 30mm, so 80mm higher than a regular 911. And underneath there's this protection. Now this is actually a stainless steel sort of, you can't call it a sump guard because the engine's at the other end, but just a protection. It doesn't go all the way underneath the car. And there's one at the rear as well. And you notice this sort of lug here, which is a tow thing. That is part of the Dakar package. It's actually aluminium rather than steel, but to tow you out of the sand dunes. You can go on YouTube and see this car. During development, they did a proper job. They're up in Arjipol in the Arctic doing lots of tests on the ice. They also were in Morocco, they're in Dubai. This car was thoroughly tested to make sure it performed on rally stages, in the desert, on sand dunes, etc., and at high temperature. The other thing to notice, yeah, these gills, you think they're normally just plastic. On here, they're actually stainless steel, so to protect rocks. It has the carbon bonnet off the GT3 and the vents there to help with cooling, trick lights, but it really starts to get very special when you come around the corner. Now look at these wheels and tyre combination. So yeah, 19-inch on the front, but Pirelli all-terrain tyre. You can option, if you want a summer tyre as they term it, but what's the point of having a Dakar if you don't have these proper tyres? That's part of the look of the car. Also, you don't get carbon ceramic brakes on this. They go for the steel brakes because that's better when you're in rocks and that sort of thing. You don't want a stone trapping your uber expensive carbon disc. And then at the rear, well, then 295 section, but a 20-inch wheel on 11-inch rims. And you also get these sort of plastic arch extensions as well as all part of it. Oh, I should mention also the sill protection here. Apparently that's in aluminium. Then you can get a roof rack, shall we say, and it has integral lights in it as well. And that is actually what that is. That is a plug for the lights that power that, and you have a switch on inside the roof by the rear view mirror to turn your additional lights on, but not fitted on this car at the moment. Keep coming round, and I really like that the Dakar gets unique carbon fibre spoiler here that just gives it additional differentiation from a regular GTS, which I really love. There's a pretty big clue here that this is the Dakar version because they put it on the badge. And if we look down there, you sort of see the intercoolers of the engine. It's all very exposed. Again, an aluminium giant great tow thing to tow your mate out of the sand dune, and a bit more of the stainless steel underneath protection. It's not really protection because it stops just about there, but overall a really distinctive look, and I think a very good one. This colour, shade green metallic it's called, and I think it really suits it. Then inside we'll have a proper look at when we go outside, but you get the fixed bucket seats from the GT3 is standard on this, and there is a roll cage in this one. I think that's part of the rally package. We'll have a look at that when we're outside. Two little buttons here. I could open the engine cover, but it's completely pointless on an 11, so I'll just flash it in because there's nothing to see. But at the front here, you get, I think, a very reasonable boot. There you go. There's a big black hole there, which is almost impossible to film, but you will see the carbon fibre bonnet on here. Right, let's take it outside, take it for a drive. (911) Dakar, loud and proud on the dash, and yeah, this got this sort of race test, this Alcantara-esque look everywhere in here. Yeah, looks good, very plain. It's interesting, there's no manual option. I'm just going to start it up. There we go, just because I want some heat in it. And yeah, extras on this car, well, there's a few really. There's this, what do they term it? Rally Sport package with additional road legal 1 kilo fire extinguisher, which is down there in the footwell. But that also adds that roll cage behind, so it's a steel roll cage, fixed steel roll cage in it. And yeah, not my favourite thing in a road car, but it's sort of a part of the Dakar-esque look. Lovely limited run badging there, 276 is it, of 2,500 on the dash there. Suede steering wheel with the centre mark, quite necessary in this car because it's off-road. I love that button for the lights if we had the roof rack on it, but it hasn't. And yes, the fixed bucket seats, which you get as standard with your Dakar. You can tick a box to have the sports seats which have adjustable, but what's important here, you have normal here, sport, rally and off-road. And you might have noticed I'm in a field again. I don't know how it happened, but after the start in a field, I felt I wasn't doing my job properly unless I took the 911 Dakar into a field as well on the farm. So I've done that. What else have we got? Yeah, the thing that gets me when you have the bucket seats and the roll cage, I have all this space behind, but I can't really access it. And I find that really frustrating in a 911 because I like the versatility of them and the space in them. Yeah, on here we have what? It's gone high because I put it in off-road. That's my off-road button, exhaust, traction control. I'm just going to turn that off, and then the damper, the roll control and how aggressive you want it, that's all on there. Did I mention, yeah, no manual option on Dakar. On the GTS there is, but interestingly they do not allow it on Dakar. Is there anything else that needs mentioning? Little door pockets here. It's all vaguely sensible in here for such a wild thing. Has it got wireless charging? No, it hasn't got wireless charging, I don't think. It's just got cable for all the CarPlay and all that works. But important thing is, how does it behave in the field? Yes, it will get upset because it's bits of grass sort of hanging around the place. I've put it into manual on there because I want manual control for this bit. And we'll just go and see what happens when you point it at a grass field. Yeah, plenty of slip. Doesn't. Oh, yeah, it's not. I mean, wet grass. Yeah, it's evil stuff. Very controllable, beautiful setup with the four-wheel drive. I love how it sort of tows you, feel it go, just keep your foot in, sends a bit more power to the front. I have it on a dial on the front of this dash, and it feels perfectly natural in here for a 911. I'll just flick it round here. And then this is a bit of a testing hill because it's done nothing but rain in February, so this isn't very kind, and I'm going to go as quick as I can up here because that would be very embarrassing if I have to call Charlie to get out of here. We did actually, come on, you can do this. And there's a little speed bump up here. Yeah, we took it into another field that floods, thinking, oh, what happens if we do a water splash with it? Yes, it was quite muddy underneath the water, but we got away with it, thank goodness, and it was quite fun. Charlie was in the Range Rover Sport. Here we go. I've just got to go through this gap, so apologies for the bleeps and pops. We'll go through here. No grounding out. 80 mil of lift is good, but yeah, it was keeping the Range Rover honest as well as this, but we got through it, which is an important thing. So yeah, field test for a 911, I'll get it 10 out of 10. it's terrific. What's it like on the road though? That's probably more important for most customers. So next job, I'll go and take it on the road now. I'm all in normal mode now, taking it off-road mode. I'm down at normal ride height. Accelerate out of here. It's quite vocal. I don't know, it's not a bad sound. It just seems louder than your regular Carrera, a bit more energy to it. I'll have to replay a sort of GTS video I've done. But yeah, it's not a bad sound at all. I did measure it. It is a bit noisier in here. It's at about 78 decibels thereabouts. So not crazy noisy, but just a bit higher than average, shall we say. And I can see on here the all-wheel drive, it's very definitely rear biased, and it's set up with the four-wheel drive in normal mode. It's quite a change if you go to sport. Now it then starts to blip as it changes down. If I start to brake, there you go, you just hear it blipping as I slow down for the speed limit. Yeah, so it's a different setup, and it also just toughens the dampers out, which I can take out like that, which is a good thing to do. But yeah, let's take it on some more interesting roads and see how it behaves there. I'm just going to move this to sport, I think, for up here. Take those dampers off. Yeah, see how it behaves. Do like this, yeah, Porsche design clock. I think it's like a lot of money extra. I think it's £800 extra to have that, but it does look good. I like the simple dash layout as well. Anyway, let's see, squirt up the hill. Let's see what it does here. Oof. Oof. Yeah, it's a quick old thing. I'll just calm it down, put it back to normal. Yeah, they claim 3.2 seconds to 60. That's chuffing quick. Yes, it's four-wheel drive, but it actually, they rated at 1605 kilos. I weighed it and it went 1620 kilos, but that roll cage is bound to add a little bit more weight. So yeah, they're good Porsche. You generally believe the figures they say. And interestingly, because of the tyres, it's speed limited to 149 miles an hour, and in that raised suspension mode that goes down to normal ride height, or Dakar normal ride height, at 106 miles an hour. So you can hoon around off-road with plenty of clearance, and that I am very impressed with, because a lot of cars might have a raised position for suspension but quickly cancel it if you go over like 25 miles an hour. Not so on your 911 Dakar. You can behave like a loon right up to 106 miles an hour without, worry of hitting things underneath. Yeah, 6-speed, it's slightly, I'm going to put it into manual mode, because if I flick on there on a paddle without pressing manual, it does revert to drive a bit quicker than I expect. And this is where the magic of the Dakar edition comes into its own. Those off-road tyres, they're taller tyres, evil bit of road. I don't know it from here. It is not compromise. And I just love that. I loved it on the Starato, and it has the same feel here. And it's sharp on steering. It's not nearly as woolly as you would imagine. When you look at those tyres, you think, no, that's not going to be sharp. It has that sharpness that we want the 911 to have. And another big surprise is it has the rear steer on it, and it's a really tight turning circle. I mean, it's 10 point something meters. It's really tight. And I'm not quite sure, well, I suppose it's part of the dynamic package, and that's why it behaved so well when I was in the field, is it just gives it, the chassis, more options to get the power down, to be so easy to control in slides. And yeah, another note, I've had quite a number of sort of mild little oversteer moments when I wasn't expecting it, but it's never oh my God, it's a horrible moment. It's just so gentle. It just drifts into it. Oh, you're back. Oh, it's, yeah. And it pulls itself out of it. It is beautifully controlled chassis. So I suppose the clever boffins at Porsche HQ have dialed that in, and they like the rear steer. They'll take the weight compromise just to make it feel so good from where I'm sitting now. Swallows that bump as I would expect it to. Oh, it's punched there. 480 horsepower, but it's and around there. Oh, yeah, it's very 911 GTS-like, more so than it has any right to be on those tyres. Right, probably time to start summarising this car, the likes and dislikes. I suppose first dislike, price. £173,000. When you think it's based on the Carrera GTS four-wheel drive version, that is £128,000. So it's quite a lift. But then again, there is a lot of special equipment on this car. It is very distinctive, and there's been a huge amount of work into its development. And with the extra bits, 10,000 kilometers off-road testing, they say, with this car, and the bigger wheel wells for the bigger tyres and that sort of thing. So a lot of work there, but it just seems on the expensive side. And when you think that the GT3 is 149,000 and that gets a super high revving engine, you think they might have fitted that into the Dakar. Two, I don't like these seats. I sort of love-hate them. I can deal with them on short journeys, their standard equipment and the cage. I just think this is such a versatile car, how you could use it. It rides great. I don't want to have the compromise of the bucket seats. I'm never going to generate really high G because it's not a track day car, it's for mucking about with. And I could do with the, well, fortunately, you know, the super sports seats are a no-cost option, but these are a £4,000 option, so I don't almost want to tick the box for the standard seats, not get 4,000 back. So yeah, all the cars I saw for sale all had these seats. All right, let's just try it round here. Yeah, just a bit of just understeer around there. It hasn't got a lot of grip. Yeah, I was having to balance the grip there. It's a bit damp outside. We were doing photography when it was dry, but even then there was a bit, you know, you certainly sense where the front and rear are slipping, but the positive, it is so controllable, this car. I find it as a non-issue. Fuel consumption. Yeah, it's a bit greedy on fuel. Let's just go to trip. I haven't done a huge amount of miles in this. Let's have a look how much. Yeah, 17.9 mpg I've managed, but I have been using it fairly dynamically, and mucking about in fields is never good for fuel, but it just 67 litre tank on a 992, and it doesn't give a huge range. You're in 220, 240 mile range with this car. Moving on to the likes, well, looks. I just love its chunkiness outside. I love how it's distinctive it is compared to other 992s. It has a look of purposeness about it. It's no messing, and I love the way Porsche have really done behind the scenes work to make it live up to those looks off-road and in the dunes. Two, just how dynamic it is to drive. It engages you, and because the grip levels are lower, you get to enjoy the outer limits. That's where cars get fun, when they get a little bit loose and you can sense what's going on. So I love that about it as well. And three, just the versatility of it and how I just would want to use this every day. So, but that's why I get grumble about these seats. You know, Charlie says I'm making a mountain out of molehill, they look great. He's not that bothered about the seats, but I find myself sort of very upright with them, and I think I've paid £175,000 for this car. I want to be able to adjust the seats. I don't care about that extra kilo of weight saving that I might get with the fixed bucket seats. So yeah,
obviously, I really liked it. It got me looking at the classifieds, and I got even more frustrated because they seem to be up for grabs at up to 40,000. There's a Rough Rose, a sort of Rothmans lookalike, that are even more money, but that's about a £20,000 paint option when you order it new, and they're all sold out. So yeah, a really great car for today's roads. Dismisses potholes, doesn't mind about our rubbish weather, and just enjoyable, just like the Sterato was. But then again, it's a half price Sterato once you put the options on. So there you are, that's the 911 Dakar. Great fun, does what it says on the tin. I've really enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed this video as well. If you have, please keep watching, keep subscribing, hitting notifications, all that sort of thing. We're just about to leap over 700,000 subscribers, which is a bit of a milestone, so thank you for that. And if you do like this video, then there'll be more videos coming along very soon. Thanks for watching.